Welcome to the first podcast of Velvaere, first of many. I am Whitney Harvey. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse for about 3 years. I've worked primarily in the emergency department, so got some acute care, critical care, general wellness stuff. Background. Want to introduce yourself?
I'm Dr. Stephanie Kidd. I've been in clinical practice it's been 8 years total in clinical practice in family medicine now, doing a lot of procedural stuff and very heavy focused in lifestyle, which is really what we're here to do. We're here to help people get healthy, talk about topics that are important to them regarding healthcare industry and general well-being. So big point. And really the big thing we want to, I think, talk about today is why are we doing this?
Yeah, why do we start?
What's the point of this podcast? And, I think really a big point of this is the fact that I feel like the wellness industry kind of gets this wrong. And I feel like we really need to do a reset in the industry as in a general sense. Lots of rush, which we'll get into that. But
I think everyone agrees it's kind of not in a great spot.
Yeah, it's a hustle and bustle. It's just to push people through, and it's not really about the wellness, which is really what we're trying to capture here with Velvaere, and the whole point of why we started this company. So,
yeah. I think everyone kind of is feeling that it's just like a moneymaker at this point.
Yeah, it is.
They just want patients to get in and get out, and they don't really care about their actual well-being and health. And so we're trying to be a little slower and more intentional.
Yeah.
in our place and just be different.
And let me talk about what Velvaere is first.
Yeah.
So
Tell us what Velvaere is.
It is a Norwegian word for wellness. Not the exact translation, but in a sense it means wellness. It means to be well.
Well-being,
To be everything that you want to be in your life and really enjoy the life. I think we're here to enjoy life, but to really be able to enjoy it, you got to be engaged in it. You gotta feel your best. You want to look your best. You want to thrive, and that's really what we're here to do. So that well-being in Velvaere is really where this originated from, and really kind of sticking with that kind of Norwegian vibe, the Nordic values, and being outdoors and living that healthy life that you can enjoy. We know that in Norway they're skiers. They like to be hiking and skiing and in the ocean and sailing and just outdoor. And I think that the outdoors has such great value to us, and really kind of sticking with the simplistic Nordic values, just that immersion in nature, if you will.
Yeah,
is really kind of what I think that we want to kind of encapsule when we're doing the Velvaere.
You want to tell everybody how we know about this Nordic lifestyle?
We will. So my husband is Norwegian, and born and raised in Norway, came to the United States, and so we do still visit Norway quite frequently. His family is all still there, so we live that lifestyle when we go there. Sometimes we get up into the mountains, and I have done this cross-country skiing. I am not good to do downhill. They're great at downhill, but I'm not going down in one of those mountains yet. But we'll be up in the mountains, so cross-country is definitely my thing. And gosh, the ocean is just amazing to be right there on the coast, and just the breeze and the smell and just the nature. So really how we got involved in the Norwegian lifestyle and just the essence of it really is the exposure that I have had in my life with my husband. And just seeing that people are genuinely happy and healthy in Norway. Even the food is somewhat different. Even when you feel and think you're eating the same things, you're really not. Even the food is different. It's healthier. And so I think that's really what I want to help people capture in this.
I think some people don't even know what healthy foods really are.
Yeah, touche.
And
You're right.
Not super easily accessible either.
Yeah.
So
let's hear from you. What do you think of when you think of Velvaere? Like in your role in the company, where do you see yourself helping people?
I think helping people for me is just helping them feel good inside and out, because you have to feel good inside to look good outside. And when you feel good inside, you feel good outside, and vice versa. And I think people just don't really understand or have the education in how to be healthy on the inside. And that's really where it starts. And it's not just, inside outside, but it's also your mind and your mindset and your motivations and all of that. So I think for me, it's kind of captivating all of those things into one wellness aspect.
I think I want to kind of pivot a little bit too, because what you're saying is just helping them, that body, the mind, the spirit, the being, is that I feel like where the healthcare industry gets it wrong right now is we already talked about this, the hustle, the bustle, you push them through, get them in, get them out. I don't want to say that the health is not important. I think the health is important, but I think that the method of getting to it is not there the way it needs to be, because too many people are functioning, but they're not thriving.
Right.
And we want to help people get to a point of thriving in their life and having that simplicity and really feeling like they're where they need to be, both from a physicality, but also a mentality too, because this is probably the worst I've seen, mental health. Really.
Oh yeah.
And I think the pandemic made it worse, but the nice thing, if you want to say nice, if there is any nice out of it, but the nice thing from the pandemic is people got back to the health. Back outside, back to being active again, back to doing outdoor things and moving, because they were locked down. They couldn't do anything else. So they were going outside. They were buying exercise equipment. Not that you need to buy exercise equipment, because gosh, you can go outside and, beautiful woods, you can toss some logs or something, you just got to move. And so I think that's a big thing.
Your body loves movement.
Absolutely. So I'm going to have you talk a little bit too about, if you don't mind, where some of the wellness industry has, I want to feel like has led people the wrong way as far as quick fixes. How do you get there fat? Like when you want to be somewhere, we know everybody wants to lose some weight, but I feel like they've gotten it wrong in the fact of, let's give a magic pill. There is no magic pill.
Everyone's searching for a magic pill, but there isn't one. And I think that the wellness industry nowadays knows that people want that instant gratification, and they monetize it. They capitalize on it. And they know that people are going to search for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And I think it's really shifted the mindset of our society these days. And they all want something quick, but it's not going to happen. You'll chase it forever.
Yeah, it's really focused more on the quick fixes instead of the lifestyle shift.
Yeah, it really needs to be lifestyle and mindset shifts that are going to help people be healthier and live happier lives, because there is no quick fix. It takes work.
Yeah, and it's chasing trends. It chases the next fad diet, the next big...
Oh yeah,
I'll just put it out there.
Diets
I'm going to put it out there. The next big injection, all right?
Yeah.
Let's just inject something and just get the weight down, but... even if you have an injection, sure, they can get things down. I am not knocking the injections. By all means, they are great medications, but you can't be successful in it without the lifestyle change.
Yeah. It's not going to do it by itself.
Yeah.
I think they've really made them seem like they're quick fixes and that you don't have to do any extra work to get those pounds off or to, get healthier, that injection is just going to help you. And I don't know if people quite understand that it's not how it works. Like, they're supplemental. They're not the answer.
Well, people come to us for their guidance. So that tells me that people really want to know, what do I need to do? They want to be there. I really feel that people genuinely want to feel healthy. They want to look good. They want to feel their best, but they don't know how. And so I feel like they really do look at us in the healthcare field and as the professionals for that guidance. So you want to make sure you're getting the guidance. And, I feel like what we are really aiming at doing is taking away that hype and really putting back the evidence into it. How can we get you where you want to be? We're not doing pseudoscience here. We're not doing the next detox and the next crystal and the next, woo-woo that's going to put you at day 2, lose 10 pounds by tomorrow.
3 days.
Yeah.
Do this in 3 days.
It's not going to happen. You've got to be willing to put those changes in place and commit to it.
Sometimes it takes months.
Or years.
Yeah.
I certainly have patients that I've worked with who've lost over 100 plus pounds. And it's that dedication that gets them where they want to be. And it's not a quick fix. It's not easy. And it just is a matter of how much do you want it and what's important to you. And so, when I'm working on with people for weight management things, because that's kind of where my realm is in Velvaere, it's not the number on a scale. it's the overall goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important to keep that focus in hand so that when you are at plateau or you're frustrated because you're not exactly where you thought you'd be at that point, you keep the goal, the long-term goal in mind, and you still appreciate those small little successes that you get along the way.
Mm-hmm. And I think the small successes get downplayed a lot, and people see that scale and they see that number. That's all they think about. Like, oh, I weighed myself yesterday and I was at this number, and now I'm weighing myself today and I'm at, I'm a pound up. But there's lots of things that go into those as well, and people don't understand that. So I think it really, I don't want to say frighten. Frighten's not the right word, but kind of scares people away from continuing to try. And if they continue to try, they will see results. You just have to have that mindset in that I'm going to get there. It might not be tomorrow or the next day or even a week from now, but I will get there, and just keep that motivation going and you will get there.
So I know how I feel about this. You tell me how you feel. And I feel like that's kind of what we're working on at Velvaere is we're keeping that motivation for you. We're keeping that encouragement. We're keeping that personalized care. We're not rushing you through. We are vested in your successes as much as you are, and we're slowing things down for people. It is
Yeah, I
not
think
that
that's
rush
really
through.
one of our big things is slowing things down, because everything is so fast paced. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're in healthcare, if you're in fast food, if you're in anything, it's just quick, quick, quick. Everything is quick.
Yeah.
So we just need we need to slow down and have, just a moment by moment care and help people just kind of relax a little bit.
And get lost in the moment, if you will.
Yeah, just enjoy the moments.
Personalized care and get away from the standard. Everything is the same. It's cut and dry. It's this or it's that. It's just that's really what we're trying to get away from with Velvaere is giving that personalized care. So people are like, hey, I'm a person. I'm not a number.
Yeah, I'm valued.
I'm a person coming for my appointment at this time. I'm not a 1:00 appointment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 1:00 appointment with a 15-minute slot.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's all you get.
That's right. What other questions do you have that you
what
want
else
to
do you
talk
think
about?
the wellness industry gets wrong? Anything?
I do think it's really the fact that we need to slow things down a little bit more. We need to get back to evidence with some fluidity, if you will. Fluidity in the fact that it's not a one shoe fits all. It's not a one treatment fits all. It's not a one customization. It's getting back to knowing the person, knowing their goals, knowing what's really right for them, and making an individualized plan, an individualized endpoint, really, and helping them get to that point. So one thing too, I think is important, just to kind of point out too, is that while we're bringing that clinical care and we have that clinical background and we can help people, we're not going to be replacing their primary care physician. We're not replacing their primary care offices. We're clinical with that knowledge, but maybe we can supplement, if you will.
Yeah, there's a place for medicine for sure.
Absolutely. But because we're not a primary care office, but we can certainly help you meet those lifestyle goals.
Yeah.
So, I just kind of feel like unless there's more you want to add into this, I want to just add a couple closing thoughts. Did you have more that you wanted to add?
I don't think so. I think we covered kind of why we're here, what we want to do, how we want to help people.
Yeah, and I think the thing is too is that at least at Velvaere, you don't have to be sick to want to see us. You just got to want to feel better, and that's where we want to get you. We want to get you to where you feel better. You're at your goals. You're where you want to be, and we help guide you. Which is the other thing I think is really important on close follow-ups, because at least with us, we're doing these for the lifestyle guidance anyway. Every 2-week check-ins.
Yeah.
Every week, every 2 weeks, we want to make sure you're on your goal. We want to make sure we're helping you, guide you. We're working with a couple of area businesses to help coordinate some things that maybe we can have
build a community.
Yeah. You heard the saying, it takes a village, right? And so it does take a village.
Not just for children.
Not just for children. For children, for wellness, for everything. And really, when we get back to that grounding, I think that's when people thrive. And again, going back to that thrive again, we're here to help people thrive and get them.
People are not meant to be alone and do things on their own all the time.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. And, having that support system in place, I think, is a really important thing.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I'm just going to kind of tease a little bit for for our next episode. We have thrown that out there before, that we encourage people to send us their feedback, send us their questions, topics that they maybe want to talk about or they want to hear us talk about during this from a clinical perspective. But the next one that I think that maybe we'll kind of stick to is just the myth of quick fixes. We're talking about quick fixes right now, and how the healthcare industry has gotten it wrong, is these quick fixes. We just want to fix everything, instant gratification. I think we should be talking about the myth of these quick fixes and like, what do they mean? Where do we get out of those?
Yeah.
So with that, I want to say thanks for joining the podcast this week, and we'll see you again next week.
All right. See you guys later.